Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. I think it's live. Um, let's see here. Oh, no, that's not right. 1 second, please. That looks good. That looks good. All right, let me bring the slide up. Lovely. Okay, I got that, and I am good to go. Okay, let me see who was here first. CK, thank you so much for being here first. Vinny Blair, Sonia Johnson, Lydia Washington, Balaji Anthony, Novi D, Sonia Johnson. I said it again, didn't I? Gwendolyn Daniels, V. Thomas, Ingrid Sowers, and a host of friends and others. Okay. Well, who was on for the 8-hour marathon last night? You know, what was supposed to be about 15 minutes turned into 8 hours. And you know, even after I was done, I didn't even go to bed because I wanted to take the Christmas lights down while there was still sunlight. And being, you know, maybe about 20 degrees, I thought it was a good idea to do it with some direct sunlight just to get a little heat. So, yeah, that's what I did. So that took about a half hour, and then I had to, like, you know, roll them up the storm for next year, or this year, rather. It's already this year, next year. So that's what I did. And I worked on some other stuff I needed to do. So I was, I won't even tell you what time I went to sleep, but it was insane. It was insane. Oh, yeah, I did sleep. I did sleep. I got my usual about 6 hours, maybe maybe a little longer, I guess. But yeah, I did sleep. Uh, oh my goodness. Yeah, right? Um, so I, you know, the other thing that was perplexing is I know it was members only, right? And then when I was done, I'm just like, how is it that many views? There's not that many members, right? And so even though I checked it and double checked it, I had to go back and make it members only again. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it was meant for the members. And just in case any of us ever decide to run for public office or, you know, something like that, then hopefully that we're covered. Oh my goodness. And YM Droid um, and Legs was the life of the party. I managed to even go and make a pizza. Oh yeah, and Claudia Sims, right? I even managed to go and make a pizza. Then I made a smoothie. So yeah, 8 hours. That's like a punch the clock work shift. That was insane. Um, and it wasn't. It started off on such a somber note, and before you know it, um, it had turned into a whole nother thing. So, but that was fun. All right. So, I wait a minute. That's not right. It's not Meghan Markle. It's not Meghan Markle. Oh Lord. When did that happen? It's not Meghan Markle. It's Meghan Markle. It's Angela Merkel, right? And Meghan Markle. Oh man, see what I'm saying? It's like I have a hangover. Um, I knew that was looking weird. That's okay. Only take me a second to fix it. I knew that was looking weird. Okay. So, yeah, I know it's like I have a little bit of a hangover. Hey, Cherry Hill. Yeah, I'm not trying to be coy or anything, but it was meant for the members. It was also like a little test because I've never done a members only. So I was wondering if you can have a members only and live at the same time. But I wonder if the problem is that it was no, because it was members only while we were live. I don't know how it switched back over, but that was not intentional. So there may have been some people who were watching and were abruptly cut off, but um, it shouldn't have been, the way it was in the first place. So I don't know what happened. But anyway, that's enough for all that. Who shot John? Um, we're here and we're enjoying each other's company as per usual. And anyway, thank you all so much for last night because, as you know, I had a very, very different type of holiday season. I'll just say it was very different. And it was good to share some thoughts, share some laughs, and hear from other people. I think it was very, I don't want to say therapeutic, maybe that's not the right word, but it felt very therapeutic for myself and maybe for some other people. So I owe you all a debt of gratitude for that. I thought for sure that Lydia Washington had gone to sleep, but I suspect maybe she napped a bit, and somehow we got Elaine Parker in there, which was great. Of course, if you stay on long enough, Elaine Parker was going to get up anyway, I'm sure. 8 hours and what, 11 minutes? I could not believe it. 8 hours and 11 minutes. I could have like gone to work and come back home in 8 hours. So again, many thanks. All right. Let's get on with it. Okay, so that is fixed. And I want to fix the other place too. Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle. Oh, man. She's gone through a name change and didn't even know it. Meghan Markle. Okay. Let me fix Meghan Markle. All right. Almost. Okay, I got that one. And then just delete that. Okay, so long, Meghan Markle. And welcome back, Meghan Markle. Oh, Tommy Robinson got arrested? UK's most well-known conservative activist, Tommy Robinson, was arrested in Canada for, get this, being an illegal immigrant. No, an illegal immigrant? Say it isn't so. Oh, that heifer, I can't stand her. Okay. Vinny Blair, let me see. I'm sorry to hear that. Big Mama, much love and prayers for... Oh, no, what happened? Oh, absolutely, you will get some prayers for us. Absolutely, you will get some prayers for us. Thank you for sharing that. Lydia says, I took a nap and reached out to Elaine. She would have killed me if I didn't let her know. Chat always had 2 mods. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for that. All right. I'm watching on the big screen, but the screen size is the size of my laptop. Can you make a screen larger? There's nothing I can do here, I suspect. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. Let's see. Did you see the hateful, spiteful attack on Talk TV with Mickey Graham and Evil Angela? Too ugly, vile. Nope, did not see that. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from Talk TV. Oh, Naomi Maria. Don't know how many Aussies are here, but hi to you all too. Okay, thank you so much for that. All right, just going back looking at a few of your comments. Brenda Gray podcast yesterday, I actually went to sleep and awakened 2 hours later, and you were still on. You guys were hilarious. Oh, my side was hurting me so bad. My sides, my face. I mean, I laughed and laughed. Yeah, we have to do that again. We will definitely have to do that again. Yeah, and we'll keep it members only so we can say what we need to say. We will make it members only. I mean, there was so many interesting theories about the royal family, and I was just so impressed. I was very impressed with everyone. Oh, great to hear that, Vivian Green. Okay. Judy Matas said hello. Okay, let's get going here. So it's time to celebrate Meghan's date, 15 January, place online and worldwide time, your choice, menu, avocado toast, and beverage of choice. Ooh, avocado toast sounds good right now. Oh, let me see. What would you put on that? Avocado toast. Oh, I like mine with bacon. Does that defeat the purpose? I like my avocado toast with bacon. Oh man, that is so good. You got to try it. Avocado toast with some bacon. And I would say if you can like crack some black pepper, if you have like a pepper meal, you could just kind of crack those pepper corns over that bread. Oh man, talk about something good. Just a little bit. And then also drizzle just enough olive oil on it, right? And of all of the criticisms and there have been many, this is extraordinary. And listen, I get it when people say, oh, we can't give it any oxygen. This is extraordinary. This one you have to push back because certain times is a time to say nothing, and then other times you need to say something. And the amount of negativity out there, and what's refreshing is that there are so many um I'm going to say it was TikTokers that I saw the most of this. There's plenty hate TikTokers, but there are so many others that are pushing back and calling them out, especially that beast, Meghan McCain. There are a lot of people calling them out. And I am encouraged by that. I am very encouraged by that. You can't always just sit back and take it. And it's just like when they were calling Meghan a dictator in heels. That was such a blatant lie, considering Meghan rarely see those people face to face. They work in Hollywood. She's at the Montecito Manor. And of course, we all know that in Montecito, there are no leaks. So when when I heard all of this criticism, my reaction was, ugh. That was my reaction. I just, I didn't know how long it was going to take me before I started that, but that that was my reaction. I the only thing I could say was, ugh. I see I'm not doing it right. But let me get this off the screen. I won't get anything done if I don't. Um, but it's just it's so ridiculous. She drizzled olive oil on her hummus. Do you know how many restaurants I've been to where they have drizzled olive oil on the hummus? Sometimes when you make hummus, it's just not smooth enough. So to smooth it out, you just put a little drizzle of olive oil. It's good for you. But they made this big federal case out of it. It made absolutely no sense at all. I mean, every little minute detail, and it's nothing but criticisms and complaints. Lex says, tired with spare, but remember how that turned out. Oh, I'm sorry, not tired, tried. Tried with spare, but see how that turned out. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Lex. They did try to wear us down with the spare, where it was, I mean, it was round the clock criticism. They had never had it so good at Talk TV and GB News. Probably built up quite a audience for them, along with all of the rest of the rags and so-called podcasts and news shows and such. And yet, as Legs has said, they tried it with spare. Look at how Spare became a big international hit. I mean, there's just no doubt about the appeal of Spare. And if the appeal of this show is anything like Spare, then we have a bona fide hit on our hands because they're going to watch. They're going to watch. And not everyone is going to be so hateful and critical. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who do not know Meghan that well, or even the ones that do know Meghan that well, are going to be totally charmed and smitten by Meghan. And also, just the general atmosphere that surrounds our Duchess will carry the day. I am more than certain of that. There are just so many people that are excited for this show. There's a lot of people that are excited for this show. And they almost, well, not almost, they really do believe that it is the ultimate insult to compare our Duchess to Martha Stewart. I am a huge Martha Stewart fan. Never watch her show, but I love Martha Stewart. I have watched things with Martha Stewart. I have watched little snippets online of Martha Stewart, but to sit down and watch her show from start to finish, I will confess I have never done that. But I have, paused for the occasional interview, just, hang out with Martha because I like what she stands for. I love the fact that she has been very active in Democrat politics. Her long friendship with Snoop Dogg, that has been like hilarious. And she's just cool. I just think she's very cool. Oh my God, he's awful, awful. That Perez Hilton, absolutely awful. And what's so bad is that if you're not properly looking at the text and you see Perez Hilton, and by some mistake you thought it was Paris Hilton, and then that creature appears in your feed, it's just it is jarring. He's just jarring. He's one of those people that are just he's so crude. Do you remember when they ran him off of TikTok, Perez Hilton? They ran him off of TikTok because this old man was on there going after those children. He was literally picking fights with children on TikTok. And they band together and drove him out of the TikTok community. And then he's sitting up there, before he was so big and bad, he's sitting up there in tears, talking about how am I going to support my family? Well, you should have thought about that when you were going after these children. He is a monster, an absolute monster. It made no sense. I would be embarrassed if I had to resort to going after children like that. I mean, just picking fights and attacking children. Who does that? A grown man, an adult, picking fights with children. It was sickening. And they did just the right thing. They drove him off of social media. At least they drove him off of the TikTok. I don't know if he ever got back on there again, but absolute beast. Absolute beast. As a matter of fact, where is it at? Okay. Okay. I made this. You must have known I was looking for something. I made this because, well, okay, I'll show you. Now, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you are a fan of Miss Joan Crawford, If you are a fan of Miss Joan Crawford, if you know, you know. I mean, these people have, and by the way, I have not altered his appearance in any way whatsoever. These people, they felt like it was some kind of feeding frenzy because Meghan announced her lifestyle show, and they just couldn't wait to go on the attack. Let me know if you figure it out. But let's see. Where are we at here? Leg says his name isn't Hilton either. He's a clout chaser. Thank you so much for that, Legs. I kind of figured it was made up. I thought it was some kind of play on Perez Hilton. And oh, I mean, look at the state of him. I guess it's evident why he's so cruel, wantingly cruel. He is just a monster, an absolute monster inside out, and has children by any means possible. Um, if you know what I mean. But he has children. He has children. And for some reason, this father, however that happened, has been attacking kids on the TikTok. Who does that? Who does that? An old man attacking kids on the TikTok as though he's one of them. Okay, nobody yet, huh? Nobody? Oh, come on. You all could do better than that. Yes, he cried like a baby hippo. He was, if you think he looks interesting now, you should have saw him crying into the camera. Let me see. Nobody? Tell you what, I'm going to leave it and I'll let you all figure it out. I'll put it to you like this. It was the last movie that Joan Crawford ever made. I repeat, it was the last movie that Joan Crawford ever made. And when I saw him, he reminded me of the last movie that Joan Crawford ever made. Okay, that's the only hint I'm going to give you. No, not Mommy Dearest. The last movie. She was not in Mommy Dearest. The last movie that she made. Nope, Carmen's Place. You're on the right track, but that's not the name of it. Ah, all right, avid reader. Now lose a few of those letters and you got it. Use the first 4 letters and you got it. Yeah, if you Google that first 4 letters, you will see that there is a haunting resemblance between the so-called Perez Hilton and a character from yes, absolutely, Hilda T. Absolutely. That was the name of the movie. And Perez Hilton has a haunting resemblance to the character from that movie. When I saw it, I thought I was seeing double. I was like, oh, could that be his dad? Wait, was his father an actor too? Was his father an actor too? Yeah. The only difference is the character in that movie was wearing a mask. That is his face. Yeah, that's the big difference. The character in the movie was wearing a mask, but for Perez Hilton, that is his face. So that is the big difference. Yeah, I guess you could say it was the movie that ended her career. Oh, it was a terrible movie. Don't worry about it. It was a terrible movie. Awful movie. The special effects were almost non-existent. Anyway, let me get this monster off this. I mean, Perez Hilton off the screen. Um, yes, it is. Wait, um did I just do something with your message? Oh goodness, I hope I didn't did I just make your message disappear? Or your comment? How did I do that? Okay, you said this is going to be major. And I saw some little box around it. Gosh, I hope I didn't just do something to you. I hope I haven't accidentally stripped you of your powers. Let me see here. No, I don't think so. Wow, that was weird. Well, let me know if something looks different. Yeah, let me know if something looks different. Okay. So long, Trog. Perez Hilton. Gotta go. All right. Oh, is that Meghan with Stanley Tucci? Stanley Tucci, who has his own cooking universe? Oh, thank you so much. There is a new member. Lydia Washington has gifted someone with a membership. Thank you so much for that. Stanley Tucci has his own cooking universe. And who does not love Stanley Tucci? Who does not love Stanley Tucci? He is a great actor, um, and just an all around good guy. Let me see here. He is 64 years old. He has often played characters much older than his actual age. And he has demonstrated a range of characters in his career. Of course, I loved him in Devil Wears Prada. And oh my goodness, I'm looking at how many movies he's been in. It's been quite a few of them. But yeah, anyway, he likes to cook. He likes to cook. And from what I can tell, oh, he even has cookware. He has a cookbook. Wow. Stanley Tucci's cookbook. So yeah, and there's Meghan having a dinner with friends, and one of them friends just happened to be Stanley Tucci. So the Sussex Squad, we have been sharing these images of Meghan the past few days because there has been this all-out assault on her character, trying to convince people that she's just trying to cash in on something. There was even one person who had the nerves to say that Meghan watched the Martha Stewart biography, and that's when she got the bright idea to start a cooking show. The thing is, Meghan's show had already been recorded, and in um, you know, they were doing the editing and such. It was already recorded. It wasn't like she just saw that and was like, hold on, we got to hurry up and go and rent a mansion. It was already done. It had been done for I don't know how long before that, but before the Martha Stewart biography came out, Meghan had already had those uh, segments in the editing room or whatever. It was all done. So that's yet another big lie. I don't know in the long run if it does any good to fight this battle about this cooking show, but they are doing the best that they can to try to eliminate any potential audience. They're doing everything that they can. Now, I hope that it does the reverse and brings in, and I suspect it will bring in more curious viewers. But the thing is, they want to own the message. They want to define her character so that they'll give you every little thing to critique. So whatever you heard, it has been planted in your mind, and you're supposed to go and look for these little critiques. How they got that much from a trailer, I just don't know. And I'm insulted because one of the most extravagant families on the face of the earth is the British royal family. I don't know when was the last time I've seen Meghan in a gold gilded carriage or dripping with those tiaras and such. Aside from her wedding day, I don't know that she's ever worn a tiara except for when she was a kid. Yeah, so it's definitely I guess you just have to go as far as you can go without, damaging your mental health, but I'm in it to win it. Yalibi, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being so supportive to Royal Sussex all this time. I really do appreciate it. And let's see, Jeanette Ford, or is it Ford? Yeah, Ford A. Thank you so. Let's see. Happy New Year, Baron. Keep up the great work. I'm so sorry I'm messing up your name. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, that's from Canada. Thank you very much. All right. My neighbor from the north. Yes, that's it. That's it. I keep forgetting about the that. Whereas before I would grab that in a heartbeat, but we got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it.
Bitter. And somebody needs to say it. Bitter. Bitter, bitter, bitter.
It's a bitter. They're all a bunch of bitter Bettys. Okay. Back over there. But yeah, so that is just a little slice of Meghan's history with food. Meghan is a foodie, for sure. She's a foodie. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one. Yeah, she was doing the round of the morning shows. And let us not forget, she appeared on Rachel Ray. She appeared on Rachel Ray, and she reminded Rachel, she said, well, actually, um, Meghan is my middle name. My first name is Rachel. So, little did Rachel Ray know that they both had the same first name, Rachel Meghan Markle. Just one of those little interesting factoids. Whatever not Trog. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I thought they said Perez Hilton. Whatever Princess, what is it? Adam tried to do is a big deal for them. Never have we seen such hate about someone, but our queen, late Princess Diana, Prince Harry's mother, went through it all. Yeah, poor Diana. Thank you so much for your comment. I just wish that Diana would have had a community like what has been made possible with the social media, the internet, but that just did not exist in her time. It did not exist. And I almost get tearful when I think of Diana putting together those cassette tapes and trying to, smuggle them to a reporter, hoping that she can win some allegiance from the people. But that very powerful machine, the firm, I mean, she was literally afraid for her life. That must have been very lonely for her. And especially when you consider that there were people listening in on her phone calls. You couldn't really trust the Royal Protection Officers because, look at Ken Wharf. Look at him. He doesn't seem like the most trustworthy person now. He seems like someone who's just cashing in. And don't even get me started with that Paul Barrel, the way he, isn't it interesting that they named the evil butler on Downton Abbey? Um, isn't it interesting that he's also Beryl? Isn't it interesting that their names is so similar, if not identical? One evil footman butler to another. Just saying. Just saying. Isn't that interesting? Julian Fellows probably identified him as the perfect character type for Downton Abbey. Okay, now check this out. I believe this is a Ghanaian show. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is set to launch a new lifestyle series on Netflix titled With Love, Meghan. The 8-part show premieres on January 15th, promises a mix of practical advice and intimate conversations featuring special, et cetera, et cetera. And so, is that a radio station? Yeah, it is a radio. I see it. Very small print there. It says, is that, oh, I can't pronounce that. Is it Asas? Radio Extra something? So, anyway, but yeah, so it is so global. It is so global. Oh no, that is that one Ghanaian? I don't know. I know this one is. See, Ghana Urban News and Culture Portal, Young Voices for Everyone. Meghan Markle's new cooking show premieres January 15th. And then take a look here on the right. This one is from Turkey. Yes, even in Turkey, it's a big deal. We love Meghan. Oh, that is in Turkish. I'm sorry, with love, Meghan. Oh, that is in Turkish. But yeah, I couldn't figure out what language that was. And I did translate it, but I do not have the translation here. I think mostly I just wanted to know what language it was. But yeah, this is global, you guys. This is very global. Hey, Anastasia, it has been news globally, local news outlets, the international, national news outlets, and even here in the US, every newspaper has had some online article about it. You name it, they're all talking about it. And mostly it has been positive. The only thing that really made it negative for most news outlets is Meghan McCain. Yeah, we were doing fine until she opened her big mouth. And then there on the left is Nigerian Tribune. And so because of that, I just had to remind everybody that our Duchess is a real Nigerian princess. So there you go. Our Duchess, the Nigerian princess. Titles that were conferred by real royals. The Alawa of Iwo, Abo, of the Osun State. Yeah. And His Royal Majesty also from there too. So there you go. As you can see, I am very comfortable with many languages. Let's see. Okay. Oh, thank you, Amber Rowan. And Lex says, oh, that was for someone else. Okay. Oh, interesting. Megan talks about how she had so many offers from corporations to buy the TIG every time she decided against it. The TIG was that successful. Look at people she interviewed on there. You know, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. So you mean to tell me big corporations were literally like trying to offer her money so that they could take over the TIG? I had no idea. See why it's so important that we have these spaces? Because I had absolutely no idea. Thank you for sharing that. I never watched the TIG, and or you know it was a blog, but I know she posted videos and such on Instagram. Was it? Um, Lots of vacation photos, clothing, food, wine, which is where the name comes from, the TIG. And so she had built up a really solid brand, and then she met Harry. Okay. I think TikTok was made for this Meghan moment. They are defending Meghan like it is nobody's business. They are encouraging people to watch and reminisce about no. Oh, and her from the TIG. Thank you, sister. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to share a couple TikToks with you. Love that yellow dress. Love that yellow dress. That was such a good look for her. Look at how regal she looks. Look at how regal she looks. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is like one of my favorite looks for her. In Puerto Rico, squatties are doing watch parties. Oh, very cool. Are we having a watch party? I mean, I'm going to be on late. And as soon as it drops, do I feel another marathon coming on? How would that work out? I'm going to have to think about that. Because it is likely to drop like around midnight-ish on the 14th. Tell you what, if it's not on by the time I finish on the 14th, I am just going to come right back on. I am going to come right back on, and we could all just like sit there and listen to our hearts beat. But I think I will open it up. We'll do a members only that night, and I think we'll open it up. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. Ah, wow. I'm getting excited. I'm really getting excited. Right? Right? So regal. So regal. All right. So this is TikTok number 1. There's so many of them I had to choose from, but I just kind of took the first few or first 2 that I found. But it is refreshing to hear these young people taking up for our Duchess. Mm. Okay. This guy is this guy.
Entertaining seeing the media do whatever they can to try and continue this anti-Meghan Markle narrative, but there's not much to fault with her new Netflix special, so they're just clutching at absolutely anything they can. Like, look at this one. Meghan Markle criticized over decision to turn comments off on first Instagram post. Like, she's arguably the most trolled celebrity on earth. Like, of course she's going to turn the comments off. Lots of celebrities do that, but like, this is a nothing story. And then there's this one by Page 6. Meghan Markle filmed carefree Instagram video multiple times, eagle-eyed fans notice. Whether you're a celebrity or you're just an average schmo like the rest of us, everyone films Instagram videos several times until they get it right. Like, this isn't the smoking gun that you think it is. But seriously, like, are we okay? Like, the way that they came up with this story is that fans were analyzing the sand in the video to see if the areas where she was running, if there were previous footprints there, and there were, and that's how people figured out that she refilmed it. Like, how desperate do you need to be to try and hate on this woman that you are analyzing the sand, the footprints? I think one of the reasons why people are particularly riled up about the video, not just because there's nothing to fault with it, but also because it disproves all the Meghan haters who had long been saying that the series had been cancelled by Netflix. Like, look at this blind item from August. In a follow-up to a blind item from earlier this week, the show starring the illiterate one, which is Meghan Markle, is not on any internal list of shows airing at the streamer for at least the first 5 months of next year. That isn't a good sign. It's literally coming out on January 15th, the first month of the year. So, yeah, you all got it wrong, and now you're analyzing sand. Like, ironically, you all need to go out and touch some sand and some grass.
So they had actually, whoever they were, tried to say that the show was canceled. And I actually saw a few articles where they were questioning or pointing out that there was a retake, that she actually deleted the first video that she posted because the format wasn't the right format for Instagram. And I'm like, that is newsworthy? And it wasn't even up that long. It was taken down and immediately put back up once it was properly formatted. But that was big news. That was worth an entire article. And then, of course, the footsteps. They examined the sand to see if she had run through the sand and if she had to do a retake. And are you all okay? That's all I can say is, are they okay? They need a well-being check. They need a well-being check. They're going to end up in a padded cell if they don't cut it out. Absolutely bonkers, the lengths that they will go through just to find something to say. This guy, let me cue him up.
All of these people have their panties in a bunch over Meghan Markle's new Netflix show that's coming out. It's called With Love, Meghan, and it's basically her cooking and entertaining, and it's very much like a lifestyle show. It's her version of Goop. It's the TV version of the blog that she used to run, The Tig. It's very much in her wheelhouse, okay? And it's all very predictable, but there's one point of criticism, one person that has chimed in that's really grinding my gears. And that person is Meghan McCain. So she said, I was originally a Meghan Markle supporter. I thought she was cool, stylish, and refreshing. Now that she wants to be American again instead of British aristocracy, and she seems to forget that Americans want real, raw, and uncensored. All of this, even in the trailer, is highly curated, produced, and out of touch. And it's like, okay, so just because there's a bunch of shitty stuff happening in the world, all of a sudden you're deciding that we can't have aspirational escapism content, stuff that lets us forget about the shitty stuff that's happening in the world temporarily. And I was going to say somebody should explain the concept of escapism to Meghan McCain, but she is very famously a Real Housewives watcher, not just a casual viewer. She is an avid fan and watches this very religiously, which is great. So do I, clearly. But that means that she's very much accustomed to the idea of escapism. Because Real Housewives, that's what it is. It's a way for us for 45 minutes to look at somebody else's life and forget our own life for a little bit and just, escape. And that's exactly what Meghan Markle's show will do for us. It's probably this like little bubble of a world that she lives in where there aren't that many issues, and you can aspire to have this very curated, aesthetically pleasing life. And like, that's something that I would love to watch right now and not think about all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world. And for Meghan McCain to like somehow think that Meghan Markle is just not entitled to be able to create a show under her already existing Netflix production deal because there's stuff happening in the world. She's not allowed to provide escapism. She's not allowed to create something right now for us to watch. Why is that her problem? Why is that her burden to carry and not anybody else's? I don't understand. I don't understand these people. To the surprise of no one, all of these people have their panties.
Okay. There are panties in a bunch over Meghan Markle's curated ideal project cooking, gardening show that is causing trauma for some people because, well, they figure we should try to take on every problem that has ever happened in the world rather than to try to enjoy quality life, quality food, friendship. Let's not forget it's also about friendship. Hen Pao says, let us all learn from this. Live your best life and be true to your authentic self. Happy New Year. Amen to that. Hear, hear. Thank you so much for those very wise words. And I think that deserves thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. When the Orange Menace first went to office, there were so many things that I changed. I tuned out MSNBC. I haven't been a regular viewer of MSNBC since like 2016. I just had to tune it out. And as much as I loved Maddow, is it Rachel Maddow? Yeah, Rachel Maddow. I haven't watched her. I haven't watched any of that stuff. I tuned out in 2016. So what is this, like 8 years that I stepped away from that? And fortunately, we do have alternatives. You know what I watched today when I first woke up? I watched a documentary about keeping up appearances, so I could reminisce about some fun stuff on keeping up with appearances. The show with, Hyacinth's bucket. That's bouquet. Mind the road, Richard. The bouquet residence, the lady of the house speaking. Yeah, that keeping up appearances. You got to have other stuff. You cannot dwell on every problem in the world. There are people that are getting paid a lot of money to do that. We ain't those people. We're just common folk. So it wouldn't be healthy to do that. So this kid makes a very good point. And Hen Pao makes an excellent point. Let us all learn from this. Live our best life and be true to your authentic self. Very, very necessary. Okay. Oh, God, look at her. Look at how angry and combative she is. That is her resting McCain face. That's her resting McCain face with her henna eyebrow powder and did you just get a chill when I did that? Hold on, let me do it again. Oh, there she is. That is her resting McCain face. I literally just let out a little pee just now. Just a couple of drops of pee when I brought this up. I mean, I just felt like someone was very angry and cross with me for something. I felt like I was being scolded. That is her set point. That is her set point. That is how she navigates life. This chick has a serious problem. There's something wrong with that broad. She has a serious problem. She needs professional help. Meghan McCain would be a nobody if she was not the child of John Sidney McCain, decorated war hero, always coasting on someone else's name. Remember her book flop? MC placed her book at that flopped at her father. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. The weight of that failure of a book probably damaged his grave. Carmen's Place says, I watched a repeat of the Westminster Dog Show a few days ago, and it was 3 hours of escapism. Best in show was the most regal French poodle I'd ever seen. Really? Okay. You mean to tell me that they didn't have any hound dogs there? Any Rottweilers? there, there were no Rottweilers there. Some old junkyard dog, something that you tie up to an old rusty Buick. Huh? Something you can tie up to an old rusty Buick. You just, take the chain and chain it up to an old rusty Buick. Just something that keep people from stealing hubcaps and stuff. Just some specimen of a creature. I tuned out the legacy media after the election in 2016. It was obvious that last year, the CEOs of legacy media wanted Trump to win because he was good for their ratings. People have tuned out now. Absolutely. Trump is one of the biggest liars that has ever lived. But one thing he did not lie about was how much money he's made for legacy television, how much the broadcast television people have made. He has made billions upon billions of dollars for television. He's made a lot of money for Facebook, Twitter, and so many other platforms. That is very true, because stoking hate and racism seems to be very profitable in 2024 and now 2025. It's almost like they're printing money. And the fact that it is going to lead to the destruction of humanity, that is going to degrade society as we know it, is of no consequence, long as they're making money. That's all they care about. They don't care how it affects people's mental health, how the breakdown of society is going to affect everyone. They don't consider that. So the best thing to do is tune them out. 2016 is when I reached my saturation point. I'm like, yep, I'm out of here. They lure you. Oh, let me get that thing off the screen. Good God. They lure you into a false sense of security. They, like an abusive boyfriend, they make you believe that if you just stay quiet and take it, then everything will be okay. Don't you dare question anything. And also, using gaslighting, they make you believe that only they have the answer. You don't have any answers. You have no ideas. You got to listen to them. That's what the media does, is that it's a very, very abusive setup. And they lure you in. They abuse your consciousness. So tune it out. And if social media is the problem, if Royal Sussex is the problem, tune it out. You don't have to be here. Take care of your mental health. That is more important than anything that I'll ever have to say. Take care of your mental health. You don't have to stay in the fight. You don't have to keep pushing and struggling for every little thing, because I guarantee you, you could ignore everything, go to bed, wake up the next day, and I promise you the world is still going to be the same place it was the day before that and the day before that. Most of the stuff that we anguish about do not directly affect us on a daily basis. But television, the mass media, the right-wing media, they have old ladies chasing anybody who looks Mexican American, chasing them down the street, taking on a responsibility that is not theirs. But they feel as though they ought to play the cop, the judge, the jury, and the executioner, because they have been empowered by the media, by the politicians. The only way to stop that is to tune it out. Some of those people don't have enough sense to be out of the house by themselves, let alone trying to determine who's who and what they're up to. But yet, they do it. Every time I see a Karen story, 9 times out of 10, it's an old white lady who has a very small world, who does not see most people most days. And when she goes out in public, she's playing detective. That is what this right-wing movement has done. It has taken some very, vulnerable people and turned them into some weaponized creature that's going about trying to cure every ill of the world. It's unfortunate. And I take no pleasure in saying it's usually older white women, but it is. It is. It is. Those are the ones that have been targeting Meghan by the tens of thousands. Those people on Twitter and the other social media, if you ever go into their bios, that's what you find. But most heartbreaking for me is when I see younger Black women going after Meghan. That one, I haven't figured that out yet, why they are so triggered by Meghan. But there's not that many, but you've seen some of them on Twitter. You've seen them on the TikTok. But generally, there's enough of just about anybody out there that are the type that will go after the vice president, to go after Meghan, Serena Williams. And of course, if you look at the British tabloid media and all of the people that write for them, the socioeconomic background of these people are pretty consistent. It's pretty consistent. I'm not really angry at the perpetrators, especially the older ones who just they're just scared. They're afraid. They feel like the world is changing. And anything that seems like is left wing, liberal, anything that identifies with certain groups of people. And if you wonder, well, why Meghan? Because Meghan has been identified as someone who is trying to tear down the most white privileged entity in the world, the British royal family. All of this is curated. That is curated. There are people like the Heritage Foundation that carefully identifies anybody that they see as a threat. And Harry and Meghan, they're a threat because they have tried to empower and help people of color, people in the Commonwealth. That's threatening to them. I mean, it's way too much for us to try to ever explain here, or for me to try to explain here, but there's certain patterns of people that tend to target other people. And the politicians and the media, they seek those people out. Anybody who they think will be afraid are the ones that they gaslight and brainwash. And that is how you have some old lady chasing a gardener, or someone selling fruit on a corner, or even someone who owns a restaurant, a working professional, because they lump them all into one category. And they feel like Donald Trump wants me to watch these people. He wants me to go after these people. It's a very dangerous thing. It's very dangerous. It's dangerous for them, and it's even more so dangerous for the people that they target. It's exhausting. It really is exhausting. I'm always shocked to see how far some of these people will go, but it's recorded. You see it all the time, where they identify the latest Karen. And some of them are not that old. Some of them are younger, but they're there, and they target people, and they try to do everything they can to get you unalived in some cases. Absolutely awful, dreadful people. But again, I don't blame them completely, because that seems to be the goal of the media and the politicians, is to keep us fighting each other. So that was my soapbox moment. Hilda T, keep the faith, y'all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hilda T, and thank you for supporting Royal Sussex. Okay. People have to get rid of MSM rather. Is it MSM or MSN? Mainstream media. Okay, MSM. I follow Spotty's platforms, and I see the Daily Fella is saying saying block every single Murdoch. Oh, okay. All these anti-Sussex podcasts are from people who are clearly jealous of the Sussex independence and resilience. They weaponize people's minds. They really do. Leslie F says, I am an Army vet and I work at the medical field, and then the next 10 years I'm leaving the United States and living abroad. Good for you. Good for you. Please forward some information so we can come and visit. 1,001 people are going to show up on your doorstep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me see here. I like Joy Reid, Andrea Allen. Oh, I love Tiffany Cross. She was too real for them. She was too real for them. Okay. All right, just getting caught up with some of the messages. So what do we have here? Meghan McCain makes herself relevant when she talks badly about someone. not being on The View anymore, she clearly misses the spotlight. Oh gosh, I think I cut that message off. The whole thing is not there. Why else would she keep going so hard at Meghan Markle for doing a pre-recorded show that obviously had a release date every second? Oh man, I'm so sorry I messed that one up. I totally missed I cut it off. You see where it says show more? And it was a really good one. Let me see. Apparently, has no self-awareness. The world hates her too. I'm looking forward to the show. Not everyone wants to consume anger, lies, doom, and gloom all the time. I mean, look at her face. There's something wrong with this girl. It's not just because she works. Well, let's look at the last one. Meghan McCain is attacking Duchess Meghan because McCain works at the Daily Mail. Meghan sued the Daily Mail and won. Now Prince Harry has lawsuit against the Daily Mail and Rupert Murdoch. McCain's boss, all Murdoch media outlets are part of the smear campaign against the Sussexes. Yeah, the Sussexes, for some reason, are a huge threat to humanity as far as they're concerned, but it's also about money. It's also about money. Do you know how much money they could make if they actually started going after those other royals? Do you know how much money they could make if they just really dragged the rest of that family? But for some reason, that family is important for the outcome that they want. They need them to be in that position, plus the little deals that they made with the family, the other family members. They need them to be there. Oh, very good point. Watch Polo again. So there we are. Meghan McCain appears to stage a photo op for her book at her late father's grave. There she is at her late father's grave, staging a photo op. And oh, what is that we see there? Is it her book? Yes, it is. It's her book. She had nothing better to do but to take her child to go with her to the cemetery to say hi to Grandpa and to leave that book there. How tacky can anybody be? That is absolutely tacky. Tacky. And I don't know if this is an AI photo, but I'll take it. That little stout build of hers. Now, the AI got that right. They have the correct amount of fingers, and they have managed to have that rather bizarre, form of hers. I don't know. Do you think it's AI? I think it's AI. I do think this is AI, but either way, I'll take it. But yeah, as a few people mentioned, that she left a book at her father's grave. Oh, now you guys have got to hear this. You got to hear this. One of the TikTokers, you guys, the TikTok community, I love those kids. They have been dragging this awful person for days, dragging her. Okay. Ready? Think about all this.
Look, Whoopi, my ancestors fought in the American Revolution. When I was growing up, my brothers and sister and I would pretend to be George Washington and the Continental Army crossing the Delaware River when we would be in the creek on our rafts. I named my daughter Liberty. I enjoy going to Mount Vernon to, visit the home place of our founding fathers. I do not want to defend the monarchy. I'm a red-blooded 100% American who celebrates freedom any way I can and always. So being put in a position where I'm supposed to defend the monarchy is uncomfortable. I want to take this time to encourage all Americans to visit Mount Vernon and see why the monarchies are stupid. The American experiment is the way to go. And we have two American women, Meghan Markle and Oprah Winfrey, who are single-handedly finishing what George Washington on our revolutionary counterparts did. I'm all for it.
Okay. That was Whoopi's reaction. She just held her breath for a second. And then she said, okay. This guy, word for word, has memorized her entire I'm a Yankee Doodle McCain speech. Word for word, looked into the camera. He actually did every single facial expression, word for word. And then, of course, Whoopi's reaction, okay. That was rich. That was absolutely rich. Whoopi's response was priceless. But word for word. But wait, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Oh, did I do a slide for that one? Hold on. I don't think I did. I don't think I did, but I'm going to play it for you anyway. You got to hear this. You have got to hear this. Okay. No, there is no slide for that one. All right, but that's okay. You don't need one. My father's my father. Father, my father, my father's my father. I mean, my father, 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 my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, my father, my father's my father, my father, my father, my father's my father, my father's my father, 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 and my father, my father. Father, my father, my father's my father. I mean, my father, 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 my. Okay, gosh, I couldn't stop it. So let me see. How long was that? That was a very torturous. My father, I mean, my father. My father and my father. Yeah, my father. 37 seconds of my father, 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 my brother, my father, my father, my father. 37 seconds. It seemed like hours, but it was 37 seconds of my father, my father. Good grief. Good grief. I mean, are your ears ringing? Because my ears are ringing. Hey, Jetstar, my ears are ringing. My father, my father, my father, my father. You know what? That is the slide that I made. Just that photo. That is just one of the images from my father and my father, my father. Father, my father, my father's my father. I mean, my father, my father, my father, my father, and my father, 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 my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, my father, my father's my father, my father, my father, my father's my father, my father's my father, 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 and my father, my 37 seconds. I don't even know how many times she said my father in 37 seconds. But dear God, do you think that she's referring to her father? Was she making reference to her father? What a crackpot. Okay. And now I have an extended version of the Jeremy Vine. It's extended. Gertrude, and I think this Gertrude person had called in before. I think she was the one that was in tears about Harry that time and how much he sacrificed for his country. And anyway, let's do this. Oh, come on, it's buffering.
In London. Are you pro this as well?
I am pro this, and I will be watching, and I will be supporting Meghan. I think.
Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on. That is the wrong one. Or is it? Oh man, I think that is the wrong one. Let me see. Did I not save that one? Yeah, that is the wrong one. It should have started off with Gertrude. Let me see if I can find it. But it should have started off with Gertrude. Where is Aunt Ger? Man, that is not the right one. Sorry about that. There's Gertrude. All right. Got it. Sorry, got it.
I am pro this, and I will be watching, and I will be supporting Meghan. I think that what we need to remember is that Meghan hasn't changed. Everybody else around her, including you in your program, has changed. You are very negative towards her, and I think that there are racial undertones regarding this. Before she married Prince Harry, she had a lifestyle blog called The Pig, and so actually what she's doing is she's returning to what she knows and what she's done best. And The Pig has a following of 3 million.
Right.
3 million.
It's whether or not. Michael's point is you can't be lectured on lifestyle by a billionaire. That's what Michael said.
She's not a billionaire. And furthermore, she look where she came from. She has worked her way to the top, and she knows how to cook.
Sharon, why don't you let somebody else speak? Hang on.
Well, what a father in the movie industry or something. Yes. So, and she went to a private school and everything, so she hasn't exactly struggled, has she?
Thank you, Sharon. After the break.
Oh, I cannot stand her.
A lot of people. Gertrude in London, good afternoon.
I am certainly going to be watching it.
Brilliant.
And I'm glad I got on because I am so fed up with everybody bashing Meghan. She's a very, very clever woman. And she has been cooking since she was 11. The mother was helping out in soup kitchens, and Meghan went with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were cooking. And Meghan had also, before she was anybody, done voluntary work in 3 African countries, also cooking and doing all sorts of things.
I'm glad you said that.
When Grenfell fire happened, Meghan went down there and cooked with everybody. And Sadiq Khan was on LBC 2 years later. And he said, you've just been down there. And they were still talking about how she just mocked in.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember. Listen, thanks, Gertrude. That's a very good corrective. Hang on, I want to get Sharon.
Okay. So Gertrude gave a nice recollection of Meghan's history, including the fact that she has always been that person since she was a little girl, going to the soup kitchens and such, helping her mother prepare food. Those are the things that they would love to dismiss. And that person with that 1980s mauve rose, dusty rose top on, whatever her name is. The only point of her being there was to throw in that part about, didn't she go to private school? Like tens of thousands of Americans don't send their kids to private school. There are some people who don't even pay the full tuition. Some schools will, give those tuitions to some of the most academically gifted students. But anyway, that's besides the point. But not everybody who sends kids to private school can afford to send them there, but they find other ways to get those kids in that school because of the great education they can receive. So that by itself is no indictment, but this lady wants to try to convince people that Meghan went like to some school in, I don't know, Stod or something like that. It's also contrived, but this is the all-out assault against Meghan's lifestyle show. An all-out assault by these people. Let's see here. Okay, I'm looking at a couple of your comments. Meghan McCain has some behavioral problems. She's not wrapped too tight. If you want the official diagnosis, you can talk to someone else, but I'm just going to say she's not wrapped too tight. Yeah, thank you, Amma Rowan. That's exactly what I was trying to say, is that for some reason, Meghan is a huge threat to all of Western society. And Harry, because he's Harry, likewise. I wonder if they looked at Diana that way. Yeah, I had my back and forth with them during the election in 2016, and as you know, I would go into their bio and I would find their family photos and some of their other political things, and they were anti this person and that person, usually people of color. They hated Obama. They accused him of being a Muslim. And it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking because otherwise, these are just the people at the supermarket, the bank, active in their church. And some of them have been weaponized, not all of them, but some of them have been weaponized. Their minds have been filled with a bunch of fear and anxiety about people of color. It's interesting. It really is interesting. I'm just like, how did that happen? Did you see the one that went after the couple for wearing a pro-Palestinian shirt? And she tried to attack. This old lady tried to attack this young woman in a coffee shop because she didn't like her shirt. She was trying to throw hot coffee on her. And I'm just like, is she okay? What led to that? That is someone who's isolated, that is listening to negative messages every day. She turns on Fox News. She turns on Fox News and turns her analytical mind off. She just doesn't question anything. And then what happens is, at some point, she ends up in a coffee shop trying to attack a young woman for wearing a Palestinian shirt. This is like something that should be studied. It should be studied. The result of this right-wing media, it really should be studied. This woman physically attacked this couple, and she was really going after the young lady. I mean, there's no way that you're going to like take on two of them, let alone one of them. This person should be like at a bingo hall. And she tried to attack that young lady for a Palestinian shirt. I couldn't believe it. It was like I was looking at the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, oh, lady, you need to sit down somewhere. And she, oh, yeah, oh, there you go. I saw that, Baron. The young lady was pregnant too. Yes. And this poor, fragile old woman was attacking the couple and really targeted the young woman. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. But you got to understand that those people didn't just get that way. This is a massive brainwashing operation. Yeah, that stuff doesn't just happen. It was planned. Yeah, it's almost like the attack of the clone. Oh man. Let me see. I don't know, sister. You know, once I like get into, you know, the actual work, then it's just like the energy just comes. Yeah, the energy just comes. Didn't Kate go to a private school? Yes, she did. As a matter of fact, they're supposed to be sending those kids to the same school. I think this is the first time any of the royal kids have gone to that school. Mental health firm paying Prince Harry £1 million salary to condemn is condemned by staff as toxic train wreck and psychologically unsafe place to work where everyone is living in fear. First of all, those are disgruntled employees that are trying to burn the place down on their way out. Second of all, it's a startup company. Everybody is accepting the risk of being at a startup company. This is not General Motors. It's not Kaiser. It's none of those big companies, right? It's not Standard Oil or Amoco, or it's not General Electric. This is, you know, a Silicon Valley startup. That's all. And so not everyone is going to fit in as part of the team. But whatever the case is, Harry is the chief impact officer. Harry's life mission is mental health. That is one of his life missions, is mental health. So instead of saying, gosh, I hope Harry stays in there and make it better, they're just saying, nope, throw in the towel. Do not cash another check. Just walk away from it because there are some people that are unhappy. Well, if that was the case, how would that transfer to other companies? You know, if you have a few disgruntled employees, everyone should walk off the job, right? There are people who have been, shall we say, unhappy working for the royal family. Yeah, some of them are found unresponsive in the back garden. Some of them have never been seen or heard from again. But I don't know anyone who says that members of the royal family should just, you know, stop taking their sovereign grant. I don't know that that's a thing. Nobody has told the unfortunate tenants of the slumlord king and Prince of Wales that they should just move out. I think they call it throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Whatever the case may be, Harry's not going anywhere, and there's no reason why he should. The only difference between Harry being at this job as opposed to any place else is that it's Harry who is suing the Daily Mail. That's it. If it wasn't for the fact that Harry is suing the Daily Mail, if it wasn't for the invisible contract, there would be no problems. And I interviewed with Better Up. Unfortunately, I only made it past 2 rounds, but both employees spoke to how supportive they are as a company, and part of their benefit is mental health support. Thank you so much for that, Angelina Stanley. There you go. There you go. For every unhappy employee, there are many employees that are just as pleased as punch to be there. So, always cling and linger to the minority handful of or couple of people that they can find. Like, remember the Sussex's neighbor? Remember their neighbor who just happened to work for the British tabloid media, who has been a writer for tabloids for years, The Sun, the Daily Mail, the Express. So they said that this person is a neighbor, not next door neighbor, but just someone who lives in the community. Does he live in Montecito or does he live in Santa Barbara? Is he in some other little enclave of Santa Barbara? It doesn't even matter. The point is, this is someone who says, I never see the Sussexes. Harry and Meghan don't live on Wisteria Lane. Meghan is not a desperate housewife. They do not live on Wisteria Lane. There's no reason why you should see them. If the tabloids are unable to capture their images most days, why would an obscure, snobbish neighbor that worked for a tabloid newspaper or whatever he does, why would you see him? I can guarantee you they're not looking for you. Oh, this is so silly. Well, thank you so much for your comment. Oh, that is a great observation. So now she's no longer from Compton or from the wrong side of the tracks. Now she is a billionaire. That'd be a surprise to her. Above the common folk. They really think Brits are that stupid. I love that. Thank you so much for that. Oh, that is perfect. Thank you so much. British victim of New Orleans terror attack has been named as Edward Pittifer, the stepson of William and Harry's former nanny, Tiggy Leg Bork. Now that is sad. That is very much a tragedy. How random is that? But in life, random, isn't it? Unfortunately, he was one of the victims. He just happened to be there on Bourbon Street when this nightmare unfolded. So that is really sad. And do you know that in some articles, they don't even mention Harry. They just mention Will and Kate and how devastated William and Kate are that this terrible thing has happened. Seriously, they only mention Will and Kate because Will and Kate are so devastated by this. Go figure. Because there's not enough content that has been generated for those two misfits. So they just kind of made up something. But according to People magazine, A man with close ties to the British royal family has been identified as one of the 15 victims killed in New Orleans attack on January the 1st. Edward Pettifer, the stepson of Harry and his brother, former nanny Tiggy Legberg, died from blunt force injuries after, I can't even pronounce, the driver of that vehicle drove a truck into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street. The Metropolitan Police confirms in a news release the 31-year-old who lived in Chelsea, West London, had been visiting Louisiana with a friend. UK paper Times and Sun reported Legberg, 59, married Edward's father, former Coldstream Guard officer Charles Pettifer, in 1999. She worked as a nanny for I don't know why I can. William and Harry. Shortly after King Charles and Princess Diana's separation in 1993 to 99, people understand that King Charles is upset by the tragedy and has expressed condolences to the family. Workshop Willie let out a statement saying that him and his lazy wife have been shocked and saddened by the news. Our thoughts and prayers. Okay, well, that's it. Yeah, but that's very sad. Very sad. It's unfortunate. Gums. What about Gums? Are you talking about that hateful content creator, Gums? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. What did I just see? Let me see that. Let me see. What did I just see? Okay, that's what I was trying to check out. So Gums is in that one? Let me see. Okay. I see what you're doing. Let me see. Gums. Let me see if I can find Gums. I see what you're doing. Because I have a picture of Gums too. Okay. Now, trigger warning, this may be jarring to some people, but this is my image of Gums. It is loosely based on her actual appearance, but for some reason, all I can see when I look at her is gums. Gums, 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 gums. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. She needs to be dragged. Yeah. There is a very unusual amount of gum tissue. She has these little itty bitty baby teeth. It's almost like she never lost her baby teeth. So she has these little itty bitty baby teeth and a whole lot of gums. And she always looks like there's some sour smell. Yeah, she always has that something stank look on her face. That's a good point, Vinny Blair. They don't mind making up stuff. But I think that with the Pat Tillman Award thing, um, Carolyn Graham spent some time with the mom, and I believe that Pat Tillman's mother was very much of that opinion, and just that Carolyn Graham literally used her writing ability to make as much of it as possible. Yeah, I think it is the same Tiggy. I think it is the same Tiggy. I guess at the end of the day, she's just a royalist like the rest of them. Willie is so quick to try to link himself as a sympathizer for atrocities in the US. Why did it take him so long for them to say anything about the race riots in the UK? In fact, he didn't say anything. Here, here, legs. Here, here. What took so long? So anyway, that's Gums. That's Gums. She always got something to, and the way, the tone that she uses. And do you know she started a second channel? She has one channel. It's a different color for the thumbnail and everything, or for the profile picture. But she has one channel where she talks about tiaras and such. And then the other channel is just nothing but toxic hate toward Meghan. And I guess she did that just in case she ever loses the first channel. So yeah, she had to do that just in case she loses the other channel. Anyway, so long, Gums. May you rot. So that is Tiggy. And of course, there's young Harry and young Tiggy. And that is the young man that died tragically in New Orleans. At least I think that's him. Rebecca English, the gatekeeper. Rebecca, the gatekeeper. They are very, very upset because Willie and Kitty will not really have anything newsworthy going on for a while. So the gatekeeper, Rebecca English, decided that she had to get out there and just, insert their names for random stuff, whether or not it's even necessary. That is not even important, just so long as she gets their names out there. So Christmas Day at Sandringham, and the Prince of Wales is chaperoning his 3 children back toward the big house after church. Let's go, Mummy, is yapping. He laughs. So Rebecca English, why Kate needs to put her family, not her family, not the family, first in 2025. Her family, not the family. This is another excuse for lazy Kate Middleton to do nothing. Oh, yeah, because they depend on the right wing. They depend on the anger and the fears and anxiety of the Brexit people. They are pro-Brexit, Willie and Kitty. They are pro-Brexit, and no, that's their audience. That is their core support, are the Brexit people. And of course, where you find Brexit, you find MAGA. Now, as she prepares to celebrate her 43rd birthday on Thursday quietly with family and friends, her children start back at school the day before. There will be much for the princess to process, as well as to be thankful for. Much for her to process. I wonder what it looks like when she's trying to process complicated and complex situations. I wonder what that looks like. Oh, okay. This is a great example of Kate processing. Anyway, she has, I am told, returning to doing the school drop-offs. Good for her. Attending sport fixtures, taking the children to play dates and tennis lessons, and even going back to the gym to build up her strength. Really? Really? Oh, that's impressive. And it will no doubt be a comfort to know how universally popular she remains, says, Rebecca English. Wait, where is she? There we go. From the latest on Kate's return to Harry and Meghan's life in LA. Read our question. Oh, God. Anyway, that's Rebecca English. Let me see. And it will no doubt be a comfort to know that she is still universally popular. How universally popular she remains, despite her enforced absence from public life for much of the year. Her enforced? Who enforced her to stay absent? Who enforced her to stay absent? I don't think that it took much coercion. I don't think it took much cajoling for Kate Middleton to be absent. She has been absent since her wedding day. She has been absent. So what is different now compared to then? And this is the same stuff they were saying during that 172 days that she was doing school runs, play dates. She's got time for tennis lessons. There is work to be done, but she has time for tennis lessons and going to the gym. However, her ordeal over the past 12 months has also inspired Catherine and, of course, William to steer a new course, I understand, in 2025 and beyond, one that puts greater emphasis on balancing the importance of their family with their family, of their family with... What is she talking about? What is she talking about? The importance of balancing their family with the family. This is a classic case of word salad. I didn't know that Rebecca English was as bad as Kate Middleton, but this is word salad. It has absolutely no purpose and no meaning. This is this is Kate keening. I think the only word that is missing from that article is keening. Kate is keening to... I don't know what she's keening to do, because she's always keening, but she never does anything.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
No, you don't, and you never will. That's not to suggest either are any less committed to their public duties. And the number of public engagements we see from here on will continue to slowly increase. The number of public engagements we see from here on will continue to slowly increase. Do you know that someone had a meeting where they strategized about how best to say, don't expect much, while trying to get people convinced that they should expect something? It's just the princess simply won't be going back to work in the same way as before, insiders say. You all said that several times in the past 6 months. Don't expect much. She ain't going back to work. She is coming back to work, but don't expect much. Don't expect her to. It's under the doctor's advisement. There's a team of medical professionals that will determine what she may or may not do. To understand why events have prompted a subtle but significant adjustment in thinking, it is important to cast your mind back to this time last year. Exactly a week after her birthday, Catherine was admitted amid huge public shock to hospital for what was only ever been officially described as a planned abdominal surgery. While it is true that her 2-week hospital stay was not as a result of being rushed to the London clinic as an emergency case, no one should underestimate the seriousness of her surgery, which would have required many months of recuperation, I am told. What was the point of this other than to say, don't expect much from Will and Kate? That is an ongoing situation with them. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. The idea that you cannot depend on the two of them, what is new about that? Nothing. Oh, she's right on the inside with them. This has been Kate's MO since day one. And now that there is the cancer card, you can rest assured that she's not going to do anything that she doesn't want to do. This is the ultimate grift. This is a grift. She can go to tennis. She can go and take, well, she takes tennis lessons, right? You would think she'd know how to play by now. She can go to tennis lessons. She can go to the gym so that she can slowly build up her strength. And then what is wrong with William that he needs to slowly go back to work? They make it seem as though William is standing outside of her bedroom with a pitcher of water and some chicken noodle soup, hoping that this time she'll get out of bed. William is flying around the countryside in his helicopter, playing patty cakes with God knows who. William ain't thinking about her. I mean, this is an affront. It is a complete affront. Mm-hmm. What she's saying is that they're only going to work a handful of times this year. They're going to depend on those slick edited videos to speak for them. You know, herbal essence, feminine hygiene product videos. Yeah, that exactly. They're just trying to keep their names relevant. They're just trying to keep their presence in the mainstream media relevant. This is all part of a scheme to make it seem like they're busy doing stuff. Kate's absence from public life essentially was about the children. Now it's about putting the family first with put their family first with the family. Oh, I can't get over that. Put their family first with the family, and also to slowly build up her strength from her um, planned abdominal surgery, which wasn't cancer until it was cancer, but now it is cancer with an asterisk cancer. My head is spinning. My head is spinning. I can't figure out what I'm supposed to think. I can't figure out what I'm supposed to think of this. But one thing you know for certain, don't expect Kate to do anything she don't want to do. That is the laziest person. The only person close to her is William. They don't mean to do any work. They don't mean it. They are the recipients, or I'm sorry, the benefactors of this hate campaign against the Sussexes. And that's why it frustrates me. Harry and Meghan are not living off of public money. They are not mentioning that family. They're going about their business. They're working, trying to secure generational wealth for their family. More importantly, trying to establish security for their family, financially and otherwise, without any mention of those people. And yet, those who are not living off the taxpayers, that are working and getting involved with their community, are the ones that are being crucified in the press, while those two lazy individuals that barely work and have an excuse for everything. It was Harry and Meghan that were the ones that were moaning, but all we hear from Will and Kate are excuses. And woe is me. It's been a rough year. The Sussexes lost an unborn child and did not get this level of sympathy. But these two that have never worked a real job in their lives, that love to step in and take photos with people that actually do things, are being treated with kid gloves while the Sussexes are being viciously attacked. It's not fair. It's just not fair. And then you have Becky the Blob, or the queen of Ozempic, the Ozempic queen. You have her running block for them. She's the gatekeeper. She's the one who decides what the Royal Rota will and will not talk about, where they will and will not go, who gets to go and who doesn't. Whilst at the same time pretending that she has this very casual, random, I just ran into William while I was walking down the street type of relationship. When the truth is, they sit there in a huddle and decide what they will and will not speak of. It's all agreed upon in advance. Anyway, I'm going to move on to a more happy topic. The Presidential Medal of Freedom. There was a big day today in Washington, D.C., in the East Room of the White House, the largest room in the White House, famous for their gold curtains and, of course, the portraits of George and Martha Washington. Those are the lucky, happy, and worthy recipients right there. Hillary Clinton looks amazing, and she's always been blessed with very thick hair. Yeah, but this is as nice as I've seen her look. Look like she's lost some weight. And there's that famous smile of hers. And there is Jose Andreas, and the woman who shares birthdays with me, my birthday twin, Anna Wintour, without her signature sunglasses. And posthumously awarded the Medal of Freedom, Robert Kennedy, Bono, Michael J. Fox, Ralph Lauren, Denzel Washington, Jane Goodall. There's Magic Johnson and Fannie Hamer's daughter, I believe that is. But anyway, there's a complete list. Jose Andreas, Bono, Ashton, Baldwin, Carter, posthumously. He was Secretary of State under Clinton, I think. Hillary Rodham Clinton, Michael J. Fox, Tim Gill, Jane Goodall, Fannie Lou Hamer, posthumously. Magic Johnson, Robert F. Kennedy, Ralph Lauren, Lionel Messi. Anyway, he didn't show up. Bill Nye, George W. Romney, Mitt Romney's father, David M. Rubenstein, I forgot what he was. I think he was in finance or something. George Soros, the one that they accuse or blame everything on when it comes to, anyway, he's the favorite target of the right wing. George Stevens Jr., I forgot who he is, Denzel Washington, and birthday twin Anna Wintour, aka The Devil Wears Prada. And that is the beautiful award right there. And as you can see, Jose Andreas doing a selfie with Bono and the Vice President, Kamala Harris. Kamala. And there's Denzel and Kamala. And yes, beware of Yetis. Beware of Yetis. That is a never seen before image of, where's Thomas Markle's hands? Why does Thomas Markle's hands always look like a big clump of rotting flesh? Have you noticed that? His hands always just look so puffy, like some kind of pink fleshy fish that just washed up on shore. Something that only ever exists far beneath the waves has just washed up on a beach and we don't know what it is. That's what his fleshy, pudgy, almost fingerless hands, almost featureless fingerless hands look like. And there is Carolyn Graham, the daughter of Dixie. Carolyn Graham, who has spent hours and hours and hours. I mean, she literally hops on a plane and goes down to Rosita, Mexico, to spend time with Thomas Markle, Thomas Tenderfoot Markle. I think the Native Americans would probably call him Tenderfoot. Tenderfoot by day, Yeti by night. When the moon comes out, he turns into the hairy Yeti creature of the great Northwest, that which has roamed around the redwood forests and the great pine forests of the Northwestern United States. But anyway, as you can see, she seems to be very close to him. As a matter of fact, I believe she was the one who retrieved Meghan's letter. And then there was a redacted, edited, purposely misleading version of the letter printed in the Daily Mail, which is why Meghan sued them. And there is Mount St. Thomas Markle right there. Somebody climbed up Mount St. Thomas Markle just to get a letter. This photo is supposed to upset Meghan. Any self-respecting woman that gets that close to Thomas Markle just really doesn't care about their reputation. I mean, she literally took one for the team. If I ever had to say anything good about her, I'd be like, you know what? That Carolyn Graham, she took one for the team. She climbed up that vicious bowl of jello, that quivering mound of flesh yearning to skip the wedding, and came down with a letter. Her foot planted on roll after roll after roll of his tummy, and she had to climb up that mountain of flesh to get that letter. I don't even want to think about how far up the mountain she got, but she must have done something because she got that letter. And Thomas Markle might be a lot of things, but stupid he ain't. He's clever as a fox. He's scheming and devious. He ain't stupid. He ain't giving up that letter for nothing. But that's okay. It's her reputation that's at stake, not his. He ain't really got too far to fall. But her, ugh, yuck. I want you to take a close look at the photo on the left side. That is Thomas Markle's house down in Mexico, very near the Mexican border. They claim he's about 250 miles away from the stately, palatial, opulent, picturesque. Oh, and also, according to the media, the Sussex home has doubled in value since their purchase. In Montecito, where there are no leaks. But yeah, the Sussex Manor is said to be worth about 30 million US dollars, I think. Yeah. Anywho, the home is boarded up. I repeat, that home is boarded up. Thomas Markle's cliffside residence is boarded up. He is moving to the other side of the world. As a matter of fact, I think he's moving to that side of the world where his son, Thomas Markle Jr., accused him of finding sport, if you know what I mean. I repeat, Thomas Markle, according to that that person that's clinging to him like a cheap suit, is supposed to be moving. That he wants to go someplace where people are nicer to him. Now, when he says nice people, I wonder what the medium age of kindness is where he's going. I do wonder, because from what I heard, he's not always so interested in people that are closer to his age. He's interested in, okay, I said enough. But yeah, so he's supposed to be moving. Good for him. He says at 80 years old, we don't know how much time we have. So you may as well go someplace where people are nice. Now, of course, this revelation has only emerged because of the cooking show. I understand that. Everything that they can throw at Meghan is currently in the works. They're going to get as much mileage out of this cooking show as possible. My only hope is that this translates into viewers. That's the only thing I can hope for, because it's not like they're going to stop. They're not likely to stop this assault. But let's hope that something good comes out of it. Oh, the heart condition, the stroke. You know, okay, I'm going to tell you this. I've never seen that photo before. That photo of Carolyn Graham, and by the way, Carolyn Graham is American. That's the one who posed in front of the Confederate flag, just in case you don't get where she's coming from. But she writes for the Daily Mail, and she is very effective when it comes to the worst possible timing for anybody she's writing about. And she's good at inserting herself in the lives of people that are assumed to have some intimate knowledge of her victims. Not her subject, her victims, because it's her intention to, I guess, commit as much pain and suffering to humanity as possible. I just don't get these people that live to write. They use their talents as a writer. They live to write as much hate as possible. I suppose she's another feminist that only protects people that look like her. And that's something that in feminism that really goes back a long way, where feminists never seem to, well, non-people of color feminists, women of color, they don't tend to want to protect women of color. I don't think they're really ever meant to protect women of color. And it's like I was saying about the LGBTQ community. If you want to find some of the most racist people in the world, go to a gay club. Go to a gay club. Go to a gay community, and you will find some of the most racist people in the world. No difference. There's very little daylight between most people in the gay community and some of those feminists that are supposed to be for all women. Very little daylight. Well, if that is a recent photo, it does look like he got a haircut because he knew his friend was coming, and looked like he lost a little weight. Maybe he'll get his fingers back. And you know what? If you can barely see his fingers, there's probably some other stuff other appendages that have disappeared. There are probably some other appendages that have disappeared. Well, they said the other side of the world. That sounds like Asia to me. But I believe that's where he's going. I believe that's where he's going. You know, from day one, they used this man to try to hurt Meghan. And ever since that time, Meghan has very wisely eliminated him as the conduit for which pain can be inflicted. And I believe, this is my words, not Meghan, but I believe that he was probably very cruel to her mother in some way, or at the very least, he likely allowed members of his family to be very cruel to Doria. That's what I believe the breakdown in their relationship was. I can only imagine it had to do with the way Doria was treated. Like I say, I'm speaking only for myself, not for the Duchess of Sussex. Okay, let me see here. I'm going to get to the part about them moving. At 80, it is time to go somewhere where people are lovely and can enjoy a quieter, friendlier existence. In Southeast Asia, the medical care is good. You can live reasonably cheaply. The people are kind and respect older people, and the food is healthy. Mostly, I just want peace. At 80, none of us know how long we have left. I want whatever time I have to be peaceful with none of the awful drama of recent years. Can you believe him? Can you believe him? Despite living in the beachside community of Rosarita, Mexico, a 250, you know what? I thought that was 250 pounds. The 250-mile car ride from the Sussexes. Oh, believe it or not, they listed the price of the house and how many bathrooms. Anyway, that's it about him moving. Okay. So he has not renewed the lease on his Mexican rental home. Instead, he is planning to travel and explore with options to explore his options with his son, Tom Jr. He's traveling with Thomas Markle Jr.? Oh, look at there. I missed this. I traveled to that part of the world when I was a younger man. The people are so kind and welcoming, and they are respectful to older people, he said. It is a place of culture and beauty. Yeah, this is a hit piece. That's all it is a hit piece. Yeah. What I heard is that the neighbors were asking, who is that woman? Who is that woman? And from what I hear, one of the other children said, oh, don't you know? She's the maid. Yeah, that's the maid. That's the version of it I heard. Let me see. I thought he was so ill. Where's all the money for this move? Well, and he's going to travel and explore his options. And people who explore options are usually people that have money. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I figured that when I first heard that he was living in Mexico, I figured it had to be an angle to it. I didn't think he was in Mexico just for the joy of it. And you know what? It may not be that he is exploring his options. He may be leaving because, they say that Mexico is kicking Americans out. They want those American migrants to leave because Americans are driving up the price of everything. Mexico has kicked out several Americans who have been living there with no visa, They do not have official residency in Mexico. Usually, the government just ignore people and you can stay as long as you like. But now they want the Americans out. And he might very well be one of those casualties of this new government that is not putting up with the American nonsense. The price of housing, food, and services in Mexico has increased over the past few years because of people trying to escape their taxes, trying to, live relatively cheaply, as opposed to being in the United States where things, especially in California, where things are so expensive. Oh, that is interesting. Ugh. Well, since you mentioned it, I have for a long time assumed that the actor who played Otis on the Andy Griffith Show and Aunt B, who played Andy's mother-in-law, I always assumed that they had a love child. And I thought, life on the set of the Andy Griffith Show over at those Desilu studios were not as quiet as we thought, not as boring and dull as we assumed. Maybe late one night, they swapped out his apple juice from the props department and replaced it with some, I don't know, Johnny Walker, Seagrams. They must have replaced it with something, Jack Daniels. And after a night of unbridled passion, they conceived a child who would grow up and become an absolute nightmare for the first confirmed member of the royal family of African descent. So, yeah, I mean, you can see the resemblance. You can see the resemblance. No neck, those rather squinty eyes, and you can see the resemblance. That is clearly the offspring of Otis the Wino. And as far as always complaining, oh, Andy, oh, Andy. Aunt B was always, oh, Andy. So I cannot promise you that what I'm saying is 100% authentic and real and true, but I am of the opinion that the actor that played Otis, the wino, and Aunt B produced a love child. And that love child is Thomas Markle Sr. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. It is clearly, that is the love child of Aunt B and Otis. I didn't even know that they were that close, but apparently they are. Pretty gruesome when you think about it. Aunt B, you depend on her for apple pie and pot roast, and well, Otis the wino, he depended on her for other things. I bet it's nice. I'm sure it is. It's like a little suburban town, right? I bet it's really nice. And even nicer without Thomas Markle there. Thomas Markle terrorizing the local population with his funny twisted legs and always swinging those plastic bags filled with beer and Kentucky Fried Chicken all over the place. Yeah, I'm sure it's nicer now than it was just a week ago or 5 or 10 years ago. I mean, there he is stalking the neighborhood. The kids are afraid of him. The local merchants are afraid of him. Nobody wants to go near him. The thing is, I thought Yetis preferred a colder climate. You don't ever see Yetis that far south, but yet there he is, roaming throughout the community, growling and complaining and talking about the royal family. It's all too much. They probably had a petition or somebody called the government and said, listen, I don't think he's a citizen of Mexico. Surely he's not paying any taxes. So they probably had a petition to get him out of there. But you know what? Yetis, sometimes Yetis are not what you think. Like that time they had a Yeti sighting at the White House. And they say if the Yeti can see his shadow, we have 6 more weeks of winter. So, yeah, if the Yeti sees his shadow, we have 6 more weeks of winter. And then, of course, there's that other Yeti, that hog head Yeti. See there? It's almost like one is the shadow for the other. A big, overbearing Yeti with a big mouth, always complaining about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with him. Nothing at all. Tired of them Yetis. Okay, and with that, you guys, guess what? I am done. Yeah, that was the last slide. That's all I have left. That is the last slide. All right, thank you very much. How was I on here for 2.5 hours? How is that possible? I don't know how I was on here for 2 hours. I don't know. I guess all that negativity just clusters around what used to be their necks. Oh. Oh, okay. Thank you. So the cost of living is rising and rising. That's what they said. Most Americans pay in US dollars. When I go to Mexico, I never exchange money. I always pay in US dollars. Of course, most stuff, I just use my iPhone to pay for it. So I never have to think about doing the exchange rate. Thank you, Balaji. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a member. Okay, you guys, I'm not going to stay on and linger and linger and linger. Hopefully tomorrow the Lady Sussex will be on. She wasn't on last week. I hope everything is okay. But I'm going to look forward to the Lady Sussex. And I'm going to try to go to bed earlier tonight than I have in the past few nights. Oh, but yesterday was, I just don't want to tell you what time I finally went to sleep. but I did sleep. Really? Even if you, I mean, if you're paying from your iPhone, won't that do the exchange? And plus, if you're not certain, you can always see how much they bill your account by checking, by checking to see how much they took out of your account or whatever. But um, gosh, when I was in Europe in 2018, I went all over the place and I never used cash. I only used my phone. And I went to Venice in 2019 and same, I used my phone. I never got any euros or anything like that. It was just my phone only. Now, Japan, they want you to use cash. Japan is still very much a cash society. So if you go to Japan, you got to get some money out the ATM. And the best place to get your exchange is at the airport. When you're coming into the airport, do your exchange there. You could just use your debit card or credit card to get money. Japan is so cool, though. If you ever get a chance to go to Japan, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. They kind of overdo the advertisements. Well, the signage is just too big and too colorful, kind of gaudy. But it's always very neat and detailed. Oh, okay, CK. I wasn't sure about that, but I'm going to have to check that out next time. Let me see. The cross-border fee, I don't know what that is. I know they put a little sticker inside of my passport, which I happen to have handy. When you get there to the airport, they give you like a visa on the spot. And I'm taking a look at that little sticker they gave me. Anyway, I'm done, you guys. So if you need to get out of here, go for it, because I am through. Okay, there's the sticker. And oh, that was 2020 I was there. Yeah, because you know what? I was in Japan just at the very start of the global pandemic. Landing permission. I don't remember how much I paid, but they give you like a 90-day period of time to be there. Oh, this is so cool. They got the stamp right next to my stamp for Venezia, Venice. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So you pay more if you, oh no, what was the question? Someone asked me, did I have to pay a cross-border fee? I don't remember. I know I paid something for that sticker. Yeah. Was there a cross-border fee high in Japan? I don't remember. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't recall. But I know that I had to pay something. But I don't think it's terribly expensive. Whatever it was, it didn't shock me. What did shock me is that they didn't really care for the debit card. They wanted cash. I went to some little donut shop. They wanted cash. Now, of course, when I went to Starbucks and McDonald's, they took the credit card or bank card or whatever. And if you're wondering, why would you go all the way to Japan to go to McDonald's and Starbucks? Okay. I also went to 7-Eleven. Now, if you know anything about Japan, 7-Eleven is an institution. There are more 7-Elevens in Japan than there are in the United States. Per capita, there are more people with access to a 7-Eleven, a country of like, 120 million people. 7-Eleven in Japan is great. It is great. They have the best food, and people use 7-Eleven for all types of banking services and bill payments and what have you. Very different from the experience that you have here. And that's why I went to McDonald's and Starbucks. Starbucks, I had a matcha tea. What was that thing? Not a bagel, not a croissant. It was wasn't a baguette. What do they call those breakfasts? A scone. It was a matcha green tea scone. Also, I had a shrimp burger at the McDonald's. I had a shrimp burger. It was delicious. Also, when you go to Japan, it is considered bad manners to put money in someone's hand. They have a tray near the cash register. You put the money in the tray, and they will give you your change in that same tray. Don't you dare try to reach out and touch them. Yeah, that's true. 7-Eleven is owned by a Japanese company, and they are so much better than the 7-Eleven in the United States. So much better. And the reason why I went to 7-Eleven is because I saw a documentary. I'm like, ooh, I got to go to 7-Eleven. Oh, but I love Japan. It was like an 11-hour flight. Totally worth it. Yes, the food quality is far superior. It is. The food quality is much better. They don't allow for all of those awful ingredients. Yeah. If you ever wanted to go to Japan, just do it. Go. And Venice, when I went to Venice, I went to Venice for the first time in 20 years. I went there in 1999, in the winter of 99, and I came back in the summer of 2019. And that was so cool. Hadn't changed a bit. And there was a Denny's restaurant across the street from, well, actually around the corner from the hotel. I stayed in one of those capsule hotels. I had to crawl into one of those little bunks, right? I had to crawl up the ladder and crawl into that little bunk. But it was okay though. Oh, and you know what else is cool? You don't have to change your plugs. They have the same plugs. I don't think they use the 3-prong plugs. I believe most places they have the 2-prong plugs, but they have the same plugs here. They have the same plugs there. And also Mexico, same plugs. You don't have to worry about your electronic devices. You hear that, Church Nelly? You don't have to worry about your electronic devices. Although I think some things that you own might put a lot of pressure on the local grid. So you have to be, conscious of that. But let me see. No high fructose corn syrup. Oh, that's a relief. Now I buy those mini cans of Pepsi, and I make sure I get the ones that are made with real cane sugar. And I usually drink one maybe a couple times a week. I mean, those little, what are they, 8-ounce cans? I don't drink them that often, but I do get the ones made with real sugar. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds really nice. Yeah, I didn't think that Tiggy was close to William. I never thought of Tiggy being close to William, only Harry, which is why it's so interesting that the tabloids are making a big deal out of what William and Kate thinks of the tragedy in her family. Okay, you guys, I'm about to go. How is it I'm on here for almost 3 hours? It don't even seem like it. It doesn't even seem like it. I don't know how this happened. Did somebody roofie me or what? Oh well. All the best, you guys. No celibacy today, huh? Or yesterday. No celibacy. I'm so disappointed. I want celibacy. I want celibacy. We did each other. So yeah. I'm looking at the video from yesterday. It's just hard to believe. I look at that time, 8 hours, 12 minutes, 27 seconds. It's just hard to believe. Well, I wasn't speaking most of the time. So I'm so glad that I just sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, why don't we bring in some other callers? And it turns out that was a perfect call. I remember that supposedly William went to the funeral of Diana's sister, and we know that that was a lie. They put out that article once they knew Harry. Oh, okay. Thank you, YM Droid. Okay, that's it then. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you all for so much support yesterday. I feel like that made things complete. I feel like that really made things complete. So I feel like I'm in a much better place because of your kindness and consideration and everything that we shared yesterday. So that was amazing. That was amazing. Like one of the most amazing times with the channel, I think. Yeah, amazing. Let me see what else. Yes, absolutely. Exceptional. The banter was amazing. I mean, so much so that I was able to just like walk away and go and make a pizza, walk away and go and make a smoothie, walk away and get rid of that pizza and smoothie. And then, of course, scratch my stomach and try to figure out what else is in there I can eat. So, if that's any indication. Thank you, Stevie Ross. You know what? You're going to make me get out that cookbook and make that rice. I am going to make that rice. I deserve to make that rice. I'm going to make it. That is going to be my project. The other thing I wanted to do, I want to make some bread. I've never made bread before, and it looks so easy. They have like some bread that's only 2 or 3 ingredients. I'm going to try to do that. The smell of fresh bread in the house. Oh, you're talking about last night? Please don't get me started. Ugh. Oh, there's just no explaining that to people. You would have had to been there. There was just no there's just no explaining that. It was and I guess part of it was how like tired and punchy we was. We were just like, in La La Land, and eventually it was starting to show. And instead of going to bed, what did I do? I went out in the cold and took those Christmas lights down. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's time. I got to do it while I have the light, because if I try to do it later, it'll be dark again, and I didn't want to cut the wires, so I needed to snip the zip ties that held them in place. Oh, I know, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Well, I'll have to try to take it out of the 8 hours. I mean, I couldn't just, because otherwise I'd have to download 8 hours of video, and that would eat up a lot of the memory, the storage. So I'd have to do just a portion of it. 8 hours. I mean, that was almost as, or should I say, it was almost as long as Aretha Franklin's funeral. Because remember, Aretha Franklin's funeral, people woke up, they got dressed, they went to work, they came home from work. They stopped at Kentucky Fried Chicken, or stopped at what do you call that place? Whatever fast food restaurant, and picked up dinner, and then they got home and the funeral was still going on. Popeyes. Yeah, that's a good one. They stopped at Popeyes. Love that chicken from Popeyes. I've never tried Popeyes chicken in New Orleans. They say it tastes better down there. I only went to New Orleans once. And it was, I guess, the idea of eating something delicious was built up so much that I wasn't really satisfied with most stuff I ate. Although I chipped a tooth on a beignet, one of those beignets, whatever it is. I literally broke a tooth on a beignet. Oh, I was so disgusted. A front tooth lost on one of those beignets. And of course, because I was so distraught and so upset about it, I took that beignet and I ate the rest of it. But I didn't like it. But of course, I ate the rest of it. Just like I went down in the basement of my aunt's house during the repast. I went down in the basement with my cousin and I found my pot stickers and took them home. She keeps the big freezer downstairs. Yep. Despite my grief, I went and got my pot stickers. I probably would have anyway, though. Oh, thank you, baby sis doll. Yeah. You guys have helped me so much, though. You really have. You all have helped me a lot. I guess having a sense of purpose, was enough to keep me focused. Oh, I haven't had Church's Chicken in ages. I remember a place called Chicken Unlimited. Let me see. Church's Chicken. Now, I see Church's Texas Chicken, but I don't see Church's Chicken. Oh, it looks like it's the same thing. When did they throw Texas in there? That can't be the same thing. Harold's Chicken. Yes. And there's a Harold's Chicken in Hollywood, California. At least there was when I went there. There was a Harold's Chicken right there on the Walk of Fame. I couldn't believe it. Harold's Chicken. Let me see. Harold's Chicken, Hollywood, California. Yeah, it's still there. Harold's Chicken, LA. And they deliver, pickup, delivery, and reservations. You can get a bucket of Chicago's famous fried chicken in Los Angeles. Yep, you can get a bucket of Chicago's famous fried chicken in Los Angeles. What you say? I like Uncle Remus. I like the Uncle Remus chicken with mild sauce. Yeah, the 8 hours went by very fast. It did. I should have known something was happening when I saw the sun coming up, though. Oh, they added Texas to the name. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to say, this ain't Texas. So why the name change? You better turn it back around, round, round. Never mind then, because I'm hungry. Give me a bucket so I can get down, down, down. Yep. That's pretty good. I just made that up. All righty then. Okay, I'm fixing to go, y'all. Korean chicken is amazing. You know, I always see Korean chicken, but I don't think I've ever had it. Maybe I should go to Korea next. Korean chicken. I've heard of Korean barbecue. I don't know if I've ever had it, though. Coleslaw. It is very crispy. Oh, I just feel myself crunching into it. And then, of course, I'm so greedy. I stand there at the register and I'd be like, can I have that little piece of, yeah, that little piece right there? And they say, oh, that's just skin. I know, throw it in there. When they have those little like rogue pieces of skin that's still like on that little draining thing, I insist they throw that little undisclosed, unspecified piece of flesh. Yeah, just throw it in the bag with the rest of it. Ain't no sense in wasting it. Don't look like garbage to me. Yep, I insist they give me that piece of skin. Isn't it the best part? That is the best part. Okay, so what are we going to say goodnight with? Crispy fried skin. Yeah, you know what? Why even bother with all that chicken when you can just give me the skin? Why even bother? Okay, I got to find something to play out with. Let me see. Maybe something we haven't seen in a while. Oh, I don't know. I can't think of anything. No, I don't know. Nothing's really speaking to me right now. Yeah, well, you know, there's great food in Chicago. There's great food in Chicago. The Island Lady. Okay, that sounds good. We'll go with the Island Lady. And I'm from the islands. Okay, we'll do the Island Lady. Give the people back their money. And the British people are so stupid putting up with this nonsense. Oh, man. Oh, wait, where is it? Ah, where's the island lady? Okay. Oh, okay. Let me try it again. I mean, she's usually like right there. Oh, there she is.
And I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients, living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.